Welcome back to the back office. I'm Dalayna Dillon, the founder and creative director of Signify Marketing, and this is where you sit in on real strategy. Each episode, we step inside an active business and have honest conversations about marketing, growth, leadership, and the decisions shaping what happens next. No one has it fully figured out, but we are building anyway. Today's episode is going to look a little bit different. Instead of a traditional interview, I've invited Traci Baker back, who you met in episode 4. If you haven't already, go back and listen to her full episode. It was so good. So she's going to sit in today as my co-host as we walk through a actual marketing strategy conversation. We're gonna work through some things. So today, we're going to work through a framework that I use to guide marketing decisions, both in my business and with clients. And so we're talking about the difference between reactive marketing and strategic marketing, and how business owners can stop guessing and start making intentional decisions about what they create and share. So if you have felt like your marketing is all over the place and just scattered and you're just throwing things and see what sticks, this is the episode, this is the conversation you need to be a part of.
Tune in.
So, Traci, have you seen this? Like, just this scatteredness of what people can easily fall into a market. And it's not because they're bad business owners. It's just a common thing. Whenever you are in the day-to-day, sometimes you're just trying to survive. And marketing is often the things that immediately goes on the back burner.
Or copying someone else.
True.
Because you think they're successful.
Yes, listen, we just talked about this off camera. You can't judge every business by how they're doing on social media. Mm-hmm. Now they should be putting, you want to put your best foot forward on social media, but you definitely can't judge a business and compare yourself to a business based on what they're putting out there online, because there's a whole nother story happening behind the scenes.
The bank account can show different.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you said that. That's true.
Social media is free, and you should be using it.
Yes.
Because that's one thing you're not having to pay for.
Yeah, and so something we talked about, but not too much in Traci's episode, is that she does branding shoots, but also she does social media marketing for businesses also. So share a little bit about that part of your business.
So what I do for businesses, like I pick ideal clients. Mm-hmm. That's how I know how to market my stuff for. In my social media, it is usually a male-owned business who can't stand social media and just knows they need to have a presence. And I want them to have a sense of humor, because I have a sense of humor. Sometimes inappropriate humor, but oh well.
I love that you know exactly who you're marketing to, because that is like a superpower. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
It completely guides how you craft every caption, how you think about the post.
Yes.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Yeah. If you don't have a target that you're putting out for, you're not going to attract any of them.
So true.
You're going to miss every time.
Yes.
Or you're going to attract the wrong clients.
And there is such thing as the wrong client.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any examples?
You find that out the hard way.
Yeah.
In the photography end of it, yes, but I have learned to weed that out ahead of time, mm-hmm. and I'm not afraid to say we're not a match.
Yeah.
But I can give you some other people to go check out.
Right.
In my case, it would be like a DIY person that wants to DIY their own senior announcements, DIY their own pictures on the wall. That's not my client.
Yeah.
That's not who I'm looking for, because I would work extra hard to have them get the bare minimum that wouldn't even bring in an income for it.
It's fine. There's no shame in saying, like, this is not my ideal client.
Yeah.
Now, and there's some industries where you have an ideal client, but you can cater, you can still serve other people, especially in more broad of industry. You are very focused and specific, and same with me in marketing. But there are definitely some businesses, like, for example, I was talking through DMs. We were talking on her episode about check your DMs. I was talking to a restaurant business through DMs, and I asked them, because they were kind of wanting to put together something marketing-wise, and I asked them, I was like, okay, who are you trying to really target right now?
They knew nothing?
Well, and I'm not no shade on them at all, but I asked that because I wanted to make for sure that this thing we were putting together was the most beneficial for them.
Yes.
You know, to put it out there, like, this is who they're wanting to focus. Of course, they're a restaurant. Anyone can eat here. Anyone can come hang out here. But I wanted to know who they were really wanting to target.
What's your food attracting?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the environment.
Yeah.
You know, they have an event space as well built into the restaurant. So, like, who are you trying to attract? And they kind of, basically, they gave me the answer of, you know, most everybody. And
anybody that wants to spend money here.
Yeah. And I've had that conversation with other businesses where I'm like, okay, who do you want to attract? And they're like, we think we can serve everyone. I'm like, yeah, you can serve everyone, but who, for your marketing, who are you targeting? These are the people that are going to keep
to see more come in.
Yes, and going to keep you in business, like your bread and butter.
Yes.
Like on your website, you say on your website, what is your bread and butter?
Yeah.
You know, and then you say social media is my jam. I thought that was super cute. But you need to know that. And so I think that's why a lot of times people feel like their marketing is scattered. And then they can result in having a bunch of reactive marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean by reactive marketing? Okay,
yes.
So speak to that. What kind of reactive marketing have you seen?
I have seen with mine is someone just from a random comment, or they see it on someone else's post, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to market to that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. The negative. People are finding any type of attention is okay attention. So they try to be negative about it because they know that's going to cause more engagement on their post. Let's make somebody mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that actually, mostly from like individual content creators. Mm-hmm. They literally do things to invoke people to go to the comment section and go off.
Any engagement wins.
I know, because they're like, hey, I'm getting paid every time you comment.
Yeah.
But that's not what we want. That's not how we want to position our business.
No.
It's not how we want to position it. Okay, so let's talk about some signs that a business is guessing instead of strategizing. This is a judgment-free zone, right, Traci?
Yes.
Judgment-free.
Yep.
We're just trying to level up marketing. So, because I see this a lot. I see a lot of businesses maybe a few hours after they open, you can tell that they like are probably sitting around with nothing to do because there's no customers in the store, and they start making posts about, hey, we're open. Come by today. We're open from this time to this time.
Or here's a vulnerable post. If you all don't support me,
oh my word,
I'm going to have to shut my doors.
Oh, I know. I've seen those.
Yes.
And it's cringy. I'm sorry. It's cringy.
And that's, to me, where someone saw it and saw the engagement that it got. So, how can I be vulnerable?
Yeah.
And get people to come support my business.
Yeah, there is a business that I follow on social media. And it's not, the thing is, they don't post, I've seen that post from them. They didn't post it once. They post it every couple weeks.
Yeah, I unfollowed quite a few that were like that.
Can I just say this? This sounds super harsh, but I'm a business owner and you're a business owner, so we can say it business owner to business owner because we're all in this grind together, right? Yeah. Nobody owes you their business. Nobody owes you anything.
Yeah.
Like, you're creating a product and a service and an experience, and if it doesn't speak to people, maybe it's not even that the product, the service, the experience is bad. Maybe you haven't framed it and strategized your marketing so they understand what they're getting.
To attract and repel. You're going to attract some, you're going to repel some, and to know that there's always someone being repelled, no matter what. So quit worrying about that. You're just trying to attract the right people. The right people.
And I think that sometimes we can get, especially with small businesses, like especially with brick and mortar businesses, sometimes our language, our messaging can make it seem like you owe us the support to show up and support small businesses. Yes. Listen, I'm all about supporting small businesses, but I also understand no one owes me anything.
Yeah.
I'm there to provide the best experience for them, the best service for them. And I understand that if they don't like it, they can go somewhere else.
Exactly.
I understand that.
Exactly.
And I think that it gives us a level of humility that I think every business owner needs, that we have to do our best to not just do the service and have the best product, all that, but to market it the best we can so that people understand the value they're getting, because you have something that's valuable, you have something that's worth supporting, but you have to let people know that. You have to show them that. And so we're going to dig into more of that also. But as you yourself work with photography clients, business owners, what do you see people doing when they feel stuck in their marketing? What do you feel like their go-to is?
Run a special.
Ooh.
Run a special. Cheapen your prices.
Yeah, that's true.
To get more people in the door.
That is very true.
When you could be marketing ahead of time.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get too far into that because I have too many examples of that. I think I got too many examples for that. Well, okay, so we're going to dive into this framework that I mentioned. This is something I shared on our social media, so if you don't follow Signify Marketing Social, give it a follow on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok, but that's mostly for fun videos. But this is something I shared, but I felt like I posted it and I shared it and I was like, this is so helpful. I think it's helpful. But I think it needs more discussion. And so I knew Traci was the perfect person to talk through this with me some more. But this warrants talking through and walking through, because having a framework to use when making marketing decisions immediately makes your marketing more intentional and strategic. Like, you can have a bad plan, but if you have a plan, you're
off that couch, baby.
You're already going. Yes, you're already up and going. So this is just a quick framework as you're trying to figure out a marketing plan. And Traci plugs having a huge, ginormous calendar.
A year at a glance.
Yes.
It needs to be a year at a glance.
Yes.
Now, I did try this year. I'm all about trying new things. I got the Jesse, what's his name? Spank's lady's husband, Jesse Seltzer, something like that. The big A.
Yes.
Big A calendar.
Yes.
Does not work with my brain.
Really?
Cannot, because the month is laid out horizontally.
Okay.
So every month, and it's light. It's hard to see. So I've had to actually get a dry erase and write the actual date on them.
Yeah.
Swift makes a calendar. It's like $70. It's like 5 feet by 6 feet, I think, fits on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing that you can do is put one of those up for a year, mark things on it, have your whatever. You will find where your slow months are.
Yeah.
And when it's your slow month, that's the time that you set all your marketing.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Man, but here's the thing is you have to plan ahead for this.
Yeah.
You have to look at the year. And so what would you say for someone who's like, okay, we're in April right now. What if they were going to start trying to implement this now? What do you feel like they should do? Should they go ahead and just start from the beginning, or just go ahead and what do you think they should start with that?
With the calendar?
Yeah.
Get the calendar? Okay,
yeah.
And the way, like with photography, when you see something in a retail store happening, like all of a sudden Easter's gone, even though it's this weekend.
Right.
Easter's gone.
Yeah.
What season are they starting on? That's where you should be already heading into it. So you mark it on your calendar ahead of time.
Yeah.
8 weeks before, I need to start taking pictures that are with this season.
Yes.
So that you have it.
Yes, that's so good. And with your branding, she does branding photo shoots. You do that as well, because I know you've told me before, like in the summer, you could be shooting fall and winter.
Yes.
And so they're out there sweating.
I did mine in July in downtown Tulsa in a sweater.
Yeah.
Dripping.
But you got to plan ahead.
Yeah.
And that was
hot
the time,
coffee.
Yes. And that was the time when you had to plan ahead for that. So that's when you needed to execute.
Yeah.
Okay. So step 1 of this framework, when you're up facing to strategize your marketing, step 1 is to figure out what is the actual objective. What are you actually trying to do? Because if you don't lay this out, you don't know if you were successful, because after you execute any marketing thing, then you have to go back and be like, did this work? Was this effective? Do we want to do this again? What changes do we need to make to it next time around? So first thing, what is the objective? Do we need more visibility? Do we need more engagement? Those are not the objectives. Because on social media, and we can speak to this doing social media marketing, it's great to get visibility and engagement. But if those don't convert into sales or into some other deliverable that you are looking for, then it's kind of pointless. People love going viral, but I think people would like sales
I have
more.
no desire to go viral.
No desire. They can't handle you.
No,
viral.
I just, no, it's too much work. Who would, no. like, as long as I'm doing what I love doing, I don't want to have the extra stress.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's great to get, like you said, those heartfelt posts that we saw coming out, especially at the beginning of the year. Did you see a lot of businesses putting those out?
A lot of restaurants.
Yeah, they got crazy engagement. But what I would be interested to see is, honestly, they probably did get an uptick in sales like that first month, but like, did that sustain?
Yeah, and then they try it again, and it's a flop.
Yeah.
And then people get put out because it's like
you're always complaining.
You want to make sure that people are not getting. It's not buyer's remorse, but it's the where I feel guilty when I heard a business went out.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't able to support them like I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do it for every business.
Right. And not every business is the business that's gonna cater to what you need. Exactly. So it's important to kind of frame out what is the objective, because when marketing feels scattered, then the objective isn't clear. What are you wanting? What's the move you're wanting to lead people to? So we can when the objective is vague, people are like, okay, what do you want me to do? Visit your website, come to your store, share this post.
Call to action.
What do you want me to do? Because there's a lot of posts that here's the deal, is sometimes you're just making a post and you don't feel like, well, this is just to make a post. Then it means it's useless.
Yeah, you wasted your time.
Nobody needs more noise.
You could have went and baked cookies.
Yeah. If it doesn't have a reason to go out, then it was pointless. And that becomes the more you do that, the more people start tuning you out.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're posting, what you're putting out there isn't relevant to them. It's not informative. It doesn't give value. It's not interesting. And I know some people love to just put out entertaining, but honestly, if it's entertaining but has no value, just cut it.
Yeah.
If it's entertaining.
Entertaining's more for, I would say, in your stories.
Yes.
That brings your personality out in the stories.
Yes.
And people can tap on through.
Yeah.
I've always said about slow scroll. Just by putting your face out there will slow a scroll,
mm-hmm.
which shows social media, the algorithm, that you have something interesting.
Yeah.
And don't push it to the same thing to every social media. It's okay to post the same thing,
mm-hmm.
but make it 5 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my example.
Yeah.
Most people, when they're on social media, they're scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my post. They see it. They engage with it. Then they shut out of that, say Instagram, and then they pop open Facebook. Well, because of that, with their connection, it automatically shows that same post if I pushed it there.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen? They've already seen it, so they're going to swipe quicker.
Yeah.
So that's telling the algorithm on Facebook that it wasn't worthy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you waited 5 days later to post it, you would get a whole different audience that sees it.
Yes.
And it can be the same post. You just talk to your audience that's in that social media.
100%.
You talk different in the different social medias.
Well, because you'll notice that you'll have a little bit of a different audience on different platforms.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they're wanting different things. Like when they're on Facebook, they'll read more.
Yes.
They will read more on Facebook than they will on Instagram.
Yep.
So consider that. And consider who it is exactly that you're talking to on these platforms. So just to be super practical, some examples of objectives that you might have are, okay, you want more qualified leads maybe. Maybe you're getting leads, but they're like not your people, so they just end up being a wasted lead.
Yeah.
You know, you might want more booked consultations, higher conversions, maybe repeat customers. Maybe you get customers in, but like you don't see them again for who knows how long. So these are all examples of possible objectives you might have when going through this framework here. Do you have an example of like what you would say is one of your objectives when you're trying to, like, what are you trying to do with marketing? You want probably qualified clients.
Yes, and mine is usually, mine are geared towards the mom and the woman business owner, moms of seniors. I, like right now, is ending a senior year. We're going into graduation and that, and I'm actively marketing to get next year's, which is weird how I do mine. I really actively marketed as soon as I started posting this year's seen your pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Here, sign up for my email. So that's my key, is like, go sign up for the email, because that's where you're going to get the information.
But right there, you're telling them exactly what you want them to do. You're being super clear. On one post, you're not saying sign up for my email, and the other one, you're not saying send me a DM if you're interested, and another one saying give me a call, fill out my. You see how that could easily get scattered, and one way to tighten that up is to do exactly what she just described. Be super clear with what that customer's next step is.
Yes.
So
the call to action.
Yes. Okay, so a little takeaway. You cannot build the right marketing if you don't know what success looks like. So figure out your objective. Moving on to step 2 of this framework. Where is the friction in the customer journey? Your marketing should solve a specific friction, not create noise. We don't want to just put more noise and more things to consume out there. We want things that are going to solve something that's slowing those customers down from moving through that customer journey that you've mapped out. And Traci's really great at customer journey. She knows her avatar in both businesses. She knows who she wants to go after.
I know my avatar, by golly. I sat down and did from the mom who drives the SUV because, the minivan's not cool enough for her, and her 3.2 kids.
So it is so important. It is so important to know your customer journey, to not just guess, because if you're guessing, they're going to guess. We never want that to be the case. We want them to move through whatever your funnel looks like, inquiry, on to the next step, to sale, to even after the sale. That's not, you want them to be a repeat customer.
It's easier to keep repeat customers than it is to find new ones.
Yes, it is.
Keep that in your head all the time.
Yeah, so much cheaper. So different problems require different solutions. So there could be a couple things that you might experience. And I know for me in the marketing area, some of these things, I can have the best strategy, but some of them even go beyond marketing to their customer experience. So some different examples of problems you might be having in your customer journey is maybe people are discovering you, but they're not converting. So let's say you're looking at your website stat, your analytics on your website, your social media click-throughs, all these things that you can look on stories, and who's clicking links, who's filling out forms, and they open it, they might click the link, they might go to the form, but then they're not converting. So that might be an example of something that maybe there's a trust issue. There's friction there, for sure, friction. Maybe it's a trust issue. Maybe they don't know enough to trust you yet. And so maybe then you would strategize some marketing around who we are, what we believe, how we do things, the value that we offer. So that's kind of how you could strategize towards eliminating that friction. Another example might be people inquire, but then they don't buy. And sometimes that's fine. Like for you might have people that inquire, but like you said, if you're doing a DIY something, no, it's not a good fit.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But maybe let's just say that Traci Baker Photography got some inquiries and they were the ideal client, but they didn't take the next step. They inquired, but they didn't take the next step. Some reasons why, and I'm not saying this is for her, but
I will run a special now.
Yeah, run a special now.
I'm going to run a special.
That's reactive marketing, friends.
Yes.
So maybe there's some clarity. Maybe they didn't understand, okay, how much is due now? How much is due later? Which I know she has a very strong process of explaining all of that. But for someone else in her field, maybe you experienced that and you're like, why didn't they follow through? Maybe you just didn't tell them the pricing.
Also, know that there are 7 touch points. So 7 interactions before they do follow through.
Wow.
So keep that in mind. Not just because they ghosted you one time, follow up with them.
Yes.
Hey, I saw that we messaged. Is there anything else that I can do? It needs 7. Go check out their Facebook page or whatever, see what they're posting, and then do you have something along that line that would go towards them?
Yeah.
They ask on their Facebook page, does anybody know any family photographers? Well, okay, they ghosted me and they're looking for family photography, so should I post some pictures of family photography?
Maybe they think I don't do family photography because I post so many seniors.
And that's what I mean, I do family photography, but it's really for my seniors.
Yeah. For their families.
Yeah, and way longer previous clients.
Yeah, for sure. So that's such a great practical example of that. If you have people who buy once but never return, maybe they had a bad experience and you should reach out.
Yeah, and sometimes you find out they just can't afford it.
Yeah.
That's why.
And
they
don't
love
apologize
you.
for your pricing.
No, absolutely not. And the fact that some of those people that know they can't afford it are some of your best marketers.
Yeah.
They will still throw your name out there. Oh, go check out Traci. I've never used her, but oh my gosh, they're some of your best ones.
Yes, 100%. So those are all really important things to figure out what is stopping these leads from moving through this customer journey. Step 3, moving on to step 3. What message actually moves someone forward? What message is actually going to take this person further in their customer journey? So the best kind of marketing removes uncertainty. People don't want to make moves on things that they don't understand, that they're unclear on, that they feel uncertain on. We want to eliminate uncertainty with our marketing. So at this stage, the question becomes, what does the audience need to understand before they're ready to act? For you, what are some of those things?
Well, I don't know.
well, definitely who you work with, mostly seniors.
Yes.
And their families, and that's what you mostly do. They need to know there's a deposit due up front.
And to have a system, once somebody even makes contact with you, you should have a system with what you're saying to them.
Yes.
If they are price shopping in my industry, I don't give the price right off the bat. I will say an average. The average client spends
I do the same thing.
But can I let you know what all is involved?
Yeah.
Because there's so much more than we're showing up, taking pictures, and you get the digitals and go home.
Yes. And I do the same thing also because it's hard for you to, in some industries, it's hard for you to really know what that customer needs right at that point. Because you need to dig into what, especially for in my industry, like you need to know like where they're at, what problems are they trying to solve. And so you kind of need to, if you have it planned out, what you're going to say, how you're going to ask the right questions.
So like in mine, like if they contact me for a senior, I need senior pictures for my child. I have set questions. It's like, okay, what school are they graduating from? Because if it's too far off, then you cut off at that point. It's like, I have some photographers in that area. But it can also be, is it a male or a female? Because that's completely different. Their idea is, I need a 30-minute, $200 session. In this process, you're going to get that stuff figured out.
Yeah.
And don't just cut them off if they're not your client. You can suggest other people.
Yes, and that shows that you are a person that wants to offer value.
Yeah. And I have people that haven't come back, they haven't used me, but they come back and ask me questions.
Yeah.
What would I look for in a wedding photographer? It's like, okay, well.
Let me give you my list.
Yes.
Yes. So some possible message types. So types of messages that help eliminate uncertainty. One could be education. That's huge. No matter what industry you're in, you need to educate people on what you do, what you offer, maybe even beyond that, like things within your industry that people are interested in. And I think sometimes people think people aren't interested. They're interested. Yes. If they're following you, they are interested. Yeah. So share, educate. Proof, that would be like testimonials, before and afters, stories. So the proof.
One I just did this morning was made a reel. Hasn't been posted yet. But when I deliver announcements in their product, like last night I went to their home because I had to hang the collage. And I just get a quick, what you call B-roll of her opening the announcements and her expression of it. Are they always ideal? No, but she was mad because she didn't know this was going to happen and she was not all frou-frued up for it. But that's a very easy, if I keep posting that, the other one of the moms crying at the image reveal, they know. So people come back to tune in. If they know I've had an image reveal, we're going to see if the mom did it. What's Traci's percentage of the crying mom? Has that repelled some people because they don't want to be crying on camera? Absolutely. I'm sure it has.
I love to watch.
But I haven't had any issues with it.
Not going to lie. I like to watch it.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It's even better when the senior cries too.
Yes.
Because that's the tough one.
So sweet. Another thing, so education, proof, it also clarity. posts that just bring clarity. This is what you need to know. Everything you need to know. Some people are planners. They need to know what to expect, where to go, where to enter. I mean, if you're a storefront, okay, show your front door. There's so many. This is crazy. So many businesses don't show their front door.
Oh, that drives me insane.
Thank you. Yes.
How to get there. You can have it on Google or Maps, and it still doesn't show it. It's like, where am I supposed to park? Where? How do you get into your building?
Well, because sometimes you'll see the inside of a building and you're like, oh, you have in your mind that it's going to be one way, but then you see the outside and I'm like, wait, is this it? Because this looks so different from...
Yeah, or parking is really bad in that area and you've got to park 2 blocks away and you don't know what the building is that you're trying to get to because your little thing will just go, you have arrived. I have.
Where?
I don't see anything.
Yes. That is so easy. Like literally post a picture of your business if you're a storefront, post an outside picture of your business. And also message types could be confidence. So an inside look in action, showing even some of the behind the scenes. So showing some of that behind the scenes shows the process of whatever product you have. I love seeing it, even like in industries such as like manufacturing. I love seeing things get put together. It's so cool.
I did a collaboration with my town of workers of Wagner.
Yeah.
And I got to go around to all these. We have the shopping cart. UNARCO is in Wagner. Not at all what I thought it was going to look like inside there.
Yeah.
They're traveling along the ceiling. It was crazy. I was just fascinated.
But it's cool, and people like seeing that.
And do you know that they have robots that I couldn't video anything around the robots because they're top secret. So it's a very Willy Wonka. Very Wonka-fied.
Well, maybe some sneak in some private. No, I'm joking. Don't do that.
They have fencing around it.
Don't do that. Last and final step. We'll talk through step 4. What format best delivers that message? So this step kind of connects marketing to psychology, and you kind of touched on it earlier of even just across platforms. But the content format should serve the message, not the other way around. Sometimes. And some of this kind of come with like following trends or copying something you've seen, but we need to make for sure that the message we've strategized, we've worked towards, this is the message we need to get out there. What's the best format to do that? So most people start here, and that is the mistake. They start with the format rather than strategize what format best serves their purpose. So that is something that could be, format types, that can be something like short form video, whether it's going to be a photo, a carousel post, that's the format. There's so many different formats, but we got to figure out what's going to best tell the message, best communicate the message, and sometimes it might mean using the same message in multiple formats.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, yes. And to pick your platform and which one is easier for you to navigate. Is that where your audience is hanging out? If not, wherever they're hanging out, you need to move to that platform.
Exactly.
If that's who your ideal client's on TikTok, you need to get to TikTok.
Exactly. So just to make this all super practical, we have not practiced this. We're going to do a practice here.
Okay.
We're going to just build this together. Let's walk through an example of this framework. So we're going to choose a industry or whatever. So we could either talk about from you as a photographer standpoint, or we can pick something different, maybe a service provider, a local brick and mortar business, or maybe a solopreneur that's doing coaching. Which one would you like to do? We're going to build out
Let's do the brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar. Okay, brick and mortar business. So let's walk through this framework together. We are brick and mortar business owners. We don't know what the business is. It's fine. We're good. What is the objective? What are we trying to do? Probably get more people inside.
Yes.
It's great that they visit our website, but if we don't sell product on our website, let's say we don't sell product on a website. Let's say that. So if we don't sell product on a website, we need them inside our business, right? Okay, so that's the objective. Where is the friction?
Probably parking.
Well, there's that. Parking might be a problem. The friction, let's just say for our particular scenario that the friction is we're in a new part of town that's just been developed, okay? So a lot of people aren't hanging out here yet, okay? So that's kind of the friction, is that it's hard to get people to come into our part of town because they don't realize that it's been improved and developed so much and it's so nice and it's got so much to offer. So let's just say that that's the friction. We need to get people in there. So what message is needed to communicate? In this place, I would say it's not just about our business, it's about the area.
Yeah.
So I would probably recommend highlighting, of course, your business. Hey, this is where we are. Show a picture where you're at, where to park, show all of that. Show maybe some videos of coming down to the area and check, walking down the street and walking up to the building.
And if you're going to do those videos, put your location. It is so irritating to see a reel that looks like a really cool place. You go to their wall, there is no location. You have to poke around, talk about friction.
I have seen so many businesses, I will go to their profile and there's no address. Then I have to go to their website and I have to find it, or I have to Google them or whatever it may be.
That's friction.
Friction.
A lot of friction.
A lot of friction. Like, I would have to be pretty committed to go and do that research to find out where that is.
Yeah.
So that is a definitely something that you need. Eliminate some of that friction. So I would definitely promote the business, of course, but I think, again, in this scenario, I would also look at doing collaboration with the businesses in that area that are also trying to build this area up.
Yes.
Show yourselves connecting. Like, let's just say if there's a coffee shop and a bakery, do some sort of collaboration. Just do things that will bring attention to not just the business, but the area. Because let's be honest, when people are taking their time to go in person to a brick and mortar business, a lot of times it's an opportunity to create an experience. Like, if you're obviously a brick and mortar that it's like a needs based, like, I need this, so I gotta go there. But if not, like, you gotta create an experience for them. And even if it's something they need, creating an experience will make it memorable and will keep them coming back.
Exactly.
Okay, so the last part, what format delivers it? That's what we talked through. Video. Video, we've said for a long time, video is king.
Yes.
Video is king.
Yep.
And it's not going anywhere.
Nope.
So we got to get a little more comfortable with the video. There's nothing wrong with photos, with graphics. Those are all needed and, like, great for certain things. They're great for education, great for really giving that clarity that is needed of, this is who we are, this is what we do, these are the steps of, if you want to come in here, this is,
And explain it like you're talking to a 5-year-old.
Yes.
And keep it short, because attention spans.
That's right. So that's how we would deliver that format. So if that was our brick and mortar business, we'd be posting photos for sure, but also video. Showing the experience, showing the environment, this new area. You want to come hang out down here, check us out. We got great neighbors. You can come here, come visit us, and then you could go down the street to this business, showing that whole process. So
yeah, even if you have to grab somebody off the street and say, can I use your back to photograph the video like you're coming into my store? Do it.
Yes.
It only has to be like a 5-second video to turn it into something.
Yeah. I do love brick and mortars because it does feel like there's a lot of opportunity to just create urgency to get in the building.
Yes.
Like, don't throw away those milestones, because that's an opportunity to get people in the building. 1 year, you're going to be having a special event. 2 years, you're going to be having a special event. You're never going to outgrow those special events.
Nope.
And maybe to you it's just a date on the calendar, but for marketing, it's an opportunity to get people in the building.
Exactly.
And get lots of content.
Yes. A lot of B-roll.
A lot of B-roll. Okay, so that is our framework for making marketing decisions. Traci, tell us again where people can find you online.
Traci with an I, Baker, TraciBaker.co, not com,
yes.
.co.
Yes.
And
follow
Instagram and Traci Baker Photographer, and Facebook, Traci Baker Photographer.
So give her a follow. So that is it for this session of the back office, the strategy session. If this conversation gave you clarity, a new angle, or even just the reminder that you're not the only one navigating this, then it did its job. Take what's useful, apply it, move on it, and remember, no one has it figured out, but we are building anyway.
Yep.
And if you found this valuable, share it with another operator who's building, and you can always hang out with me in between episodes on social media at Signify Marketing Social. I'm Dalayna Dillon, and I will meet you back here next time.